Welcome everyone to my channel. If you haven't been here before, pull up a seat, sit down. We are going to talk about that time I got Reincarnated Slime Volume 4. As you can see, this has two characters on it. This is Beretta up top, and this is, of course, Lady Ramirez. No rest for a nation-building slime. Now that Rimuru's monster-centric town has blossomed into a bona fide independent nation, it is time for its next step. Build and maintain diplomatic relations with nearby countries. With a group of his trusty monster pals, Rimuru travels to the Beast Kingdom of Eurazania, and the Dwarven Kingdom to meet with their respective heads of state and represent his domain as best as a slime possibly can. As if there wasn't already enough on Rimuru's mind, the otherworld Shizu has been visiting him in his dreams, begging him to save her former students. Looks like that'll be another stop on this Pliable Pioneer's itinerary. Yay! That on the back, those are the children that they're speaking of. There's actually a better view here of them. And Rimuru, of course, what Rimuru looks like. These are the children that he's supposed to be saving. Also, here is a wonderful looking map of the world. Oh, it's so big. It really is. So we have the beginning of it, trading with the Beast Kingdom, King Gazel's invitation to human lands, the Kingdom of Bloomin, the summoned children, conquering the labyrinth, rescued souls, and a monster's natural enemy. So a lot of things happen in this, but also like not a lot, not very much. There's like 5 or 6 episodes of this in the anime, and this is like the end of like I think season 1 and on to season 2. Yes. So end of season 1, beginning of season 2 is basically what this encompasses all around. To start with, he has dreams. Shizu's trying to talk to him through these dreams about these children that she's very concerned about. Okay. He wakes up, and then we're going to talk about the Beast Kingdom. Rimuru doesn't actually go to the Beast Kingdom, at least I don't think he does. He sends people to the Beast Kingdom. Yes, he sends people to the Beast Kingdom. He sends, Benimaru, Rigger, and a few others to the Beast Kingdom, and of course the Beast Kingdom sends their own back with them. Now the people who come is Alvis, the Golden Snakehorn, and one of the 3 lycanthropes, the Beastketeers, and Sophia. Now, there's also Grucius, which is spelled differently. So, Sophie wants to take them on, right? Because she wants, it's part of a thing to see if it's acceptable to make trade between Eurazania and Tempest. And it's a ploy thing to try and see. And Rimuru, of course, latches onto it. He's like, go out there, Yom, and show Sophia that you are powerful. Except Shion kind of like gets really pissed off and decides that she wants to take on Sophia. And so Grucius is introduced into it, and he takes on Yom. So Yom and Grucius are fighting. They're evenly matched for the most part. Do believe it's a stalemate because it gets called off. And Sophia and Shion fight. And then Alvis, of course, gets in between Sophia and Shion. And Shion's got this big massive ball that she's going to throw at Sophia. She says, alright, that's enough. Are you satisfied? Sophia's like, yeah, we are going to trade with them. So she tells everybody, listen up, you're to respect Rimuru, Lord Rimuru, and his nation, and show them gratitude, or else I'll beat you to a pulp. Eurystheus was sent by Phobio, who is the third Mixkit, saying that my job is to help out and to show gratitude for Phobio, who's in confinement, for saving his life. And that's why he sits there and patrols with Gopta and his crew. At first. Yeah. Then, Shion's like, I can't get rid of this thing. And Sophia's like, shoot it upward. She's like, I can't move it up. So Rimuru is like, alright, time for me to take action. He's like, shoot it towards me. And she's like, are you sure about this? And he's like, yes, I'm sure. Shoot it towards me. And he swallows it up with gluttony, as if it's nothing. And everybody is amazed about how powerful this slime is. Then they have talks about things. He shows them the beer that he's made, or the wine, the liquor, the brandy and everything, the apple brandy. And they're like, well, your Zerina can help you with the fruit supply. We'll send you fruit if you send us beer or wine, right? He agrees to it. He has Kobe, who is a merchant, to talk out the peace talks for that kind of stuff. And they do a lot of negotiations for trade with Eurysania. And then his convoy comes back, and Benny Mara's like, I picked a fight with Carrion and got defeated, and I think we're all good to go. There's a bunch of pointed out things like, Rigger's like, yeah, their agriculture is way ahead of ours, and that's like the most thing that I saw. And he's like, alright, our next trip there, Rigger, we're going to concentrate on the agriculture, because we really need help with that. And they agree. Yay. And Benimar's like, I think I should stay back. Rigger can handle everything myself. I trust Carrion's people. Good things there, right? Very much good things there. And then Rimuru heads to the kingdom of Dwargon to have the official announcement within Dwargon country that they're in negotiations of peace and everything like that, and that they're going to help each other out as much as they can. He gets there, they have some time of their lives. Rimuru sneaks out to get drunk at a all-elf establishment. Like it happened in like the second book, I think it is, or the first book, I don't really remember. Shion and Sheena do find out about it, and a lot of bad, upset thingies happen. He has a speech. Gazelle does not like it. He disapproves of it, but the elven ladies said it makes us want to trust you, makes us think good things are going to happen, and I give you a 10 out of 10 for that. They talk about trade and what they want to do and the establishment they want to do with it between the two countries, and about his trade with Eurysania. So the visit to Dwargon was a success. It was a complete success. Yay! They also discussed trade and things. So that's wonderful. Then he goes to the human lands. Okay, so the human lands, he travels to Bloomin first, where he decides he wants to sell some middle potions, high potions, not full potions, but high potions to create trade between the two countries. He meets Fuse, of course, because what's his name? Not Yom, but Ellen and her troop, they're the ones who introduces them to Fuse. Fuse will have a letter, obviously, that will be an introduction for Yuki causes something or another. Yuki, who is the guildmaster, our grandmaster, guildmaster. He's the grandmaster of the Free Guild, and he wants the introduction so that way he can show that he's not a bad slime. Also that he wants to complete Shizu's request to him one of them at least. And he realizes that he doesn't really want to kill Leon, he just wants to hit Leon. Leon, of course, is searching for something. He is searching super hard for something, but we'll get into that later. We don't actually know exactly what he's searching for immediately at this moment in neither the anime or what I've read so far of this. So if you guys have read further, good for you. I haven't. Like I said, I've got to wait for shit to happen so that way I can get there. He's actually taken advantage of by a noble who agrees to forces. Now, what these Viryard does is Viryard has it where our main concern is the defense of the security of our people. And so a agreement was made between the two. Rimuru fell into the trap that if Blumen is attacked, Tempest will come to their rescue. But if Tempest is attacked, Blumen will come to their rescue as well. It's an agreement between the king, the Baron, and Tempest. So he agrees to it through the Baron, and then agrees to it with the king. As well as trade routes. They're making a road to Blumen. They're making a road to Eurazania, and also making a road to, well, they've made the road to Dorgon. It's almost complete. So those are the plans for that. Eventually, I believe there'll be a road to Falmouth, which, we can't talk about Falmouth right now. But, there's also probably going to be a road to the Sorcerer Dynasty of Thalion, and of course to the Western Nations. Don't know if the Winged Nation of Fulborosa, which is going to have anything, or Demon Lord Milliams, or even Demon Lord Claymans. But there might be one to the Eastern Empire eventually. We don't really know. We don't know how that's going to pan out at all. So yeah, he agrees to all that stuff, and then he moves on to Ingracias, where the Free Guild is, to talk to Yuki. He gets his introduction, and they talk for a little bit, and then Yuki attacks. Yuki is attacking because he mentions that Shizu has a mask and everything, and he thinks he killed Shizu, but when he finally says, I'm not a bad slime slurp in that one, but he says something else to Yuki. Of course, he also knows that Clayman is doing it, and he's talked about the Council of the West, the religion that's there, the absolute deity Luminous, and all of that. So, then you also learned that he's an atheist. Did you know Rimuru was an atheist? I didn't know that. Oh, before he goes, he actually becomes an adventurer to get rank A. Well, he actually only gets up to B, and he has to work his way up with points to B plus and then the A, in order to be able to be an adventurer and be able to travel wherever he wants without having to have papers, because adventurers can do that, obviously, because, they go around looking for things to do to make money, and to help out with everything from gathering information to gathering resources from monsters to hunting monsters and attacking them. One of the things is that he's when he introduces himself, Grandmaster Yuki Kagurazaka. He says, "Nice to meet you, Rimuru. I've heard quite a lot about you. Feel free to call me Yuki." And he's like, "It's so good to meet you too. My name is Rimuru Tempest, and I'm the leader of the newly established nation of Tempest in the Forest of Jura. Just Rimuru is fine with me too." So they have a conversation. They actually, when he takes off his mask, he sees that it's Shizu, at least he thinks it is, and Yuki, of course, attacks, and he's like, "Calm down, I'll explain everything to you." And Yuki's like, "You better." And he's like, "Okay, well, I'm an alien from a faraway planet." Of course, that's what he thinks will make Yuki believe that he is from Japan, about everything that's happened and everything that he's done, as well as Shizu and all that stuff. And he's like, then Yuki talks about how he has no magic skills of his own, and that he just doesn't age at all. So yeah. So he talks about about the kids and what he wants to do, and he's like, okay, well, I can introduce you to them and get you a teaching position. So he does. He gets the position. And of course, they don't trust him. The kids, who first walks in, he gets attacked by a flaming sword, but of course he survives it. But he has to sit there and teach the kids some things. So, Kenya Misaki, Ryoto Sekiguchi, Gail Gibson, Alice Rondo, and Chloe Albert. So, yeah, they're a little wild. All of them are. And he decides that he's going to show them who's the boss. So he says, we're going to have a fight one-on-one. If you can hit me within 10 minutes, I will succeed you. But if you can't, you have to call me Professor Rimuru. So each one takes their turns attacking, and each one fails, of course. And he learns a little bit more about them. Also, he had a second reason for doing this. So these children, under the ages of 10, that are summoned into this world, their bodies are so full of magicules that eventually the magicules kill them. And Rimuru thought that maybe if they used them in battle, that might get rid of some of it and help them regulate it and get it down under control so that way they don't die. But it didn't necessarily work. So he had to figure out another way to do that. So they're out. At one point, he returns home, talks to them. He goes to talk to Trainee, and he learns about the dwelling of the spirits. It's a maze, labyrinth. And then he also talks about the Spirit Queen, who might be able to summon superior spirits that could inhabit the children and protect them. But he has no way of getting there. And then Mjolnir, who is someone who will come in and be very important later on in the series. Obviously, I've watched the TV show so far, the anime, but he purchased a bunch of high coins, and that, yeah. So he decides that they're going to go on a picnic, and this is where you first hear about the hero, Sir Masayuki, which sounds like a Japanese name, but Rimuru is not sure what it is. But heroes cannot claim to be heroes. If they're not actually a hero, they can't claim to be a hero because the world will turn nasty towards them. But heroes who are summoned and heroes who become heroes, they enjoy a benefit from the world that helps them out with being actual heroes. It's literally a title that you have to either earn or you are summoned with. You can't just claim you're a hero. So they're having this picnic after they have a fight, of course. He's training them, teaching them, and fighting with them and everything. So, yes, they're having lots of tests and like that. A sky dragon appears and it approaches the city of Ingracias. Now, Mjolnir is a merchant with a head for making money and everything, and he was actually talking with I believe Fuse about the high potions and everything with the kingdom of Tempest, and he didn't really believe all of that, but then he did go and see Tempest, and he did hire and got money, potions, and he was bringing them back to Ingracias. Now, while he's here at the border, before he even gets into the city, the Sky Dragon attacks. And instead of running away, like most people do, he sits there and runs into the mess to save a little girl and her mother from dying. Giving out high potions that he bought, losing profit in that case. With his bodyguard, who he hired. And he tries his best, but the Sky Dragon's lightning does harm a lot of people. And then he's about to get attacked when Rimuru shows up, disguised, and defeats the Sky Dragon. Of course, he accidentally spoke, and Mjolnir figured it out. That Rimuru Tempest was the one who saved him. So he invites him for a drink and a talk, and they discuss merchandise and then a bunch of other things in that stead. So he actually becomes friends with Mjolnir. Mjolnir. Yes. They have a lot of talk. While they're leaving this lovely little restaurant where they had the discussion, a woman blessed the children with was saying the Spirit Queen. And Rimuru's like, what about that? And she's like, well, she lived in the Republic of Urgracias, unaffiliated with the Western Nation, in a village near Urgur Nature Park, which had the entrance to this labyrinth, which was where the Spirit Queen, the dwelling of the spirits, was. So he decides to bring the kids there. When he brings the kids there, they get attacked by tiny little spirit fairies with a master golem, elemental golem, and he destroys the elemental. Promises to make a new one if the Ramiris, who comes up and sits there and lays on him, because Ramiris is of the labyrinth, one of the 10 great demon lords, about it, saying you owe me a golem that can protect me and everything. And he's like, well, if you help me summon greater spirits, I'll build you a golem. And so she leads them to the area of where it is. And you also learn that she's actually the Queen of Spirits. She fell from grace and became a small ass fairy. She's got about 100 years before she turns into an adult again and has all her powers again. So she needs a bodyguard, right? So they're like, all right, we'll summon these. So they go up, and each one goes to pray and summon. Of them all, out of the 5 of them, 3 of them get lesser spirits, all from greater spirits that show a slight interest, and he actually creates greater spirits for them. Let's see. Gale gets the pseudo high level spirit called Earth with a pseudo personality. So yay for that one. Alice gets a higher level pseudo spirit called for air. And when Ryota goes up, he gets a skill deviant, or he gets one that's of wind water. So he's got dual abilities. When Kenya steps up, an actual high level light elemental spirit shows up and says, I felt something about him. He may even become a hero, so I'm going to save him. So Kenya actually gets a physical spirit to help him level things out. So a high-level light elemental actually responded. We don't actually learn the light elemental's name, but we do know that Ramiris knew him, and he did poke fun at Ramiris for falling to the dark side. Now, Chloe summons something from the future. It looks like an adult woman, and it literally flows up to and kisses Rimuru on the lips, and then flows into Chloe, stabilizing her. Ramiris said it was like a dangerous spirit, and he was worried about it, but well, now it's inside Chloe. What can you do about it? So when he goes to leave, well, actually, before the spirit was summoned, Chloe did say that I love you, Rimuru. So before they leave, he actually summons, creates a body, a doll actually, and gives it to her, and then she's like, no, that's not what I need. So he creates a doll golem, and then he summons a greater demon to put into it and give the name Beretta, and says that you are to serve Ramiris for 100 years, and then you're free to do whatever you want. And Beretta agrees to it. And then she gets her name, and she evolves a little bit, and has this ability to use the doll very well. So she loves it. And she agrees, and she's like, yep, I'll do that. So when Rimuru was about to leave the children, because he's done with everything that he was supposed to do, the children are of course crying and sad and everything, so he gives the mask to Chloe, the mask that he had, that he got from Shizu, and then he gives all the kids coats and uniforms that were specifically made by Shuna, and then he leaves. And when he leaves, he tries to use spatial magic, which is something he gained while trying to create lesser spirits for the 3 kids that he had to create them for. He can't. And he can't summon Ranga. And he was covered in a barrier where skills, spatial intervention skills were not allowed, and some magic skills were not allowed. He resisted, but some magic-oriented skills were not allowed. And so he is confronted with Hinata Sugiguchi. And she wants to kill him. And the only field that she has prevents monsters ranked below A from even taking action. So it lessens his, because he's obviously he's a higher rank than an A. He's having issues fighting in this. The sword, Dead End Rainbow skill that she has on her sword, and when it hits, 7 hits and it will kill him. Kill his spirit, because that's what it attacks. He tries using Ifrit, but Ifrit almost becomes under her control because of her ability of Usurper, which allows her to take control of anybody's skills. And then, at the very end, he's got one more hit before he dies, and she says, die, Dead End Rainbow. He says, awaken Gluttony. And the execution happens. And the last thing that we have is that his consciousness sinks into darkness before losing it entirely as he drifts off to sleep. So that's a lot that happens, and it's only 5 or 6, it's maybe 7 episodes of all the things that happen. So, yeah. My favorite character is, of course, Rimuru. He's a slime that just wants peace, and he just bounces from one crisis to the next and does things in its own flow, and all he's really trying to do is build a nation of monsters that can live in peace with humans and trade with them and be an actual civilization. What he's really trying to do is use the magic of that world to create like Tokyo again. Comforts that he had. My most disliked character in this book would have to be Hinata at the end, because she doesn't want to listen to anything. She just, instead of talking with the monster as a doctrine of the holy church she's part of, monsters all need to die. So she's just gonna attack Rimuru without even learning anything. And because the person that told her everything said that he killed her and it was terrible and horrible and all the wrong things. What stood out as memorable? Rimuru is on the way to building relationships with demon lords and kingdoms purely by accident for the most part. He's already has relationships with Milliam. He's already getting relationships with Carrion. He's getting a relationship with Romaris. He's got Dwargon, Zania, and he's gotten Bloomend, and more will most likely come along. So he's building up a very good repertoire and reputation for his kingdom and himself that will help him out in the long run with showing that, hey, we're all monsters, but just because we're monsters does not mean we're all evil. Some of us are actually good, just like humans are good or evil. Now, my favorite passage from this, I don't know if I actually marked with a color my favorite passage. but I do know my favorite quote, which is basically, it's good to meet you too. My name is Rimuru Tempest, and I'm the leader of the newly established nation of the Tempest in the Forest of Jura. Just Rimuru is fine with me too. I like that as my favorite quote because it shows that, yes, he knows that he was sidelined and snited by, not snuffed, but, what's that word? Where the higher level people are like, ugh, you know, you're beneath me. Snubbed. So yes, I know he actually acknowledges that, yeah, I know you snubbed me, but that's okay. I'm the bigger person in this. Technically. But he's actually not really that big of a person. He's got, like, his own little things that he has. There's a lot that goes on in this. A lot more than what I've said. And a lot more of other things. That would be a nice... That's not actually a passage that I would call favorite. Oh, he also does learn in this summoning demon magic by during his rank examination, which you don't see. I don't think you see in the anime. That's how he gets it. Because I was always wondering, you know, when I was watching the anime, how he got the ability to summon demons. But yeah, he learned it while he was fighting somebody for the person he actually uses a full potion to regrow the leg of. Examiner. So yeah, it was a surprise. Oh, this must be my favorite passage. In the future, though, maybe. Once I wasn't so needed any longer, perhaps it'd be fun to be a freelance adventurer for a while. Too bad you guys will probably be dead of old age by then. He's talking about Ellen, Guido, and Cabal. Because he is having a lot of fun traveling with them. And he's like, too bad I can't do it now, because I would love to be able to, but you guys will be dead by the time I have that ability to actually go out and do what I want to do. What I thought about the ending of the book, I like the cliffhanger part, where he's up against Hinata Sugiguchi, and the possibility of, you know, shit happening, because he says awakened gluttony, and we don't know what that means, and she's also only got one more hit to kill, so we don't know what that means. So we're going through and we're waiting for, like, this epic battle to happen, and I'm super excited, and I can't wait to draw this. I think, actually, in my lovely mess of things, that's not the mess I wanted. What's my next one? Oh, it's series. So maybe in the next draw that I have, which will be September's draw, which will be series, I might be able to pull this one and read the next book. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. Oh, what book did it remind me of? There is no book that I have read that's like this, so no book. This book, as you know, is part of a series. There's actually going to be 23 novels. The 23rd novel has not been on sale yet at the time of this recording, in June. But I do have all 22 of the ones that are out, so we have a while to go before I'll need to get it, but I'll probably pre-order it as soon as it's pre-orderable to get it and be able to read it. Yes, because I am just so in love with my Rimuru that I've actually looked, and season 4 is up to book 10, and I'm just like, oh my god, are you serious? Season 4 goes up to book 10? Because this is technically the beginning of season 2, so there's that. There's a bunch of interesting things with that going on. Okay. I definitely rate this a 5, because I'm probably going to rate all of them as a 5. Maybe, because I didn't really like some of the things that went on in season 3. So those ones are correlating with season 3 might not be rated as highly as a 5, but we're going to rate this as a 5. Okay. It's just the way things are. Okay. So if you guys think I was a like, comment, and a lovely subscription, why don't you go ahead and drop it down below. I will see you next illusion.